Yeah,
I have no knowledge of free enterprise at all, so I'll leave this to you two. Take care.
Hey, sure, Nick. Yeah, thank you for being here for me, man. I appreciate it.
Good luck on your upcoming run, Nika.
Thanks. Take care.
Yeah, so one thing to note about the on Dark Shadow Zone, he just beat the Flame Mammoth in Sigma stage. Those spikes are still dangerous. If you touch those spikes, you die. So if you kill him whenever the spikes are up and you step on them, you go. So, oh, we got a Sid and Rydia start. Nifty. I like it.
Yeah, you get a little bit of versatility. You can get a summon for Rydia up at Mount Hobbs right at the beginning of the game. And Sid is just a very good early game character and a tank in the late game. So this is a pretty strong start. We're going for Forge the Crystal today. So you need to find the Legend Sword of the Adamant, bring him to Kokol's workshop in the underground, and then you'll get your crystal that's required to turn Zemus into Zeramus. They are not.
Yeah, so once he steps back out into the Sand Ruby start getting edge right away. Oh man.
This is a very powerful start.
Yeah, wait till he gets back to the main world, or at least into like the town or whatever, because then the black bars are going to be more defined. Because in the house right here, it is a little bit more squished. So. But here soon, Dark Shadows is going to be done with Sigma. I don't foresee him having any trouble getting through all 3 stages of Sigma. Doggy, Jedi, and Wolf. So I can help you out with that. Give me a second. I'll let you know. I think it's actually I think it's Kedril, actually. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because I think Velociraptor's on blue, right? Oh, Velociraptor's on red. Okay.
Kedril is the one. I was on blue. Kedril took my place. I moved over to MMX for Dark Shadows. Dark Shadows came back into MMX, and then I took over Link to the Past. So what
you've been everywhere in
this? I'm in everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Yeah, pretty much. So, man, but no lie, starting with Rydia and Sid is already a pretty decent starting too, but then being able to just get that Sand Ruby and going over to get Edge right away. Edge is he is my favorite Final Fantasy character, period, but he is like absolutely one of the best characters to start with early game because he just wrecks everything early. You get a lot of really quick checks and really fast, so.
Yeah, this party is going to be able to really get through the early game quite easily. This seed is going to kind of be either easy or hard, depending on like how trolly the locations of the items that we're going to need are going to be.
I missed. Dark died. He died to Wolf Sigma. Oh no.
He did.
Oh man, I missed that. Quick plague fight. Honestly, this is probably one of the best places to find plague, other than maybe something like Fabul. Really easy to kill even before he gets a chance to take a step. So, oh, no worries, Snowbear. Don't feel stressed about it, man. MMX is a very fast game. Early Earth Crystal. That's 2 free characters and a spot. Sure. Give me a moment. I will take a look and see. Perfect. Okay, cool. No worries. I've got you here. All right. So we got Sand Ruby, we've got Earth Crystal. And yeah, that works. I'm pretty sure that's all. Did you see Portrait get anything else there, Rex?
That's it. It was the Sand Ruby is the starting item and Earth Crystal from Handline, so we haven't seen any other key item checks yet.
So Shiva is going to be the random pickup for the summon at Mount Hobbs. So not the best, but not the worst either. You could get Imp.
You could get Imp. I mean, the issue with Shiva and like a lot of the mid-tier ones are like they have a pretty bad charge time and they're pretty high in MVP cost for the really early game. And especially when you've got Flame on Edge, you just don't really need it anything. You're really looking for something unique like Sylph or Odin or Ashura. It is a spot like that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best one would be Sylph. Sylph by far would be the best one to get because Sylph has a glitch that's probably never going to be patched out. But GG's to Dark Shadows, knocking down Wolf Sigma and saving the Earth once again from the Mavericks. Thank you, Dark Shadows and Siberian, for that wonderful savior. I do want to go ahead and say I didn't get a chance to say during all this, but y'all need to follow these runners. All of these runners. Everybody that's doing the runs today. All of them deserve your follows and your love here because, you know, this is just us providing entertainment for y'all. So, as well as follow Snowbear22 taking time out of their day to help restream this and every one of the commentators and all that kind of stuff. This is definitely something fun, but you know, hey, it's a free Saturday night. Why not, right? So,
yeah, that's my thought.
Wrath swap Rando Force. Poydrak going with good names there.
And Poydrak finds Kane up at the top of Mount Hobbs. So another useful character early in the game. We're not finding duds anywhere.
Yeah, really, the funny thing about this game is every character really has their use. I really can't think of a character that I'm just like, ugh. You know, maybe like an early Tella Rydia start. Like Rydia without another character that can carry her pretty easily is tough. But at the same time, like Tella has got his uses, especially if you're able to get through ordeals. If you can get ordeals done, it's a lot. Now, Retronika, I disagree. Palom and Porum are actually Palom is extremely useful. Quack Kid is like one of the best characters to get because once you get Quack on Quack Kid, you are running through stuff.
And he learns both Virus and Quake much earlier than Rydia does.
I think by like level 20 they know Quake, right? Yeah. So twins are a very good start. And and Antidel is also right about that. Antidel's another pretty well-versed person in the FF4 FE community. So Porum is not as good late game. Porum really falls off just due to the fact that they just don't get the life. So Rosa is definitely preferred over Porum. But yeah, like Porum is definitely one of the ones that you're just kind of like, if you grind enough, it's okay. But
game, she really shines because she learns Exit naturally where Rosa does not, and that's a big thing. She also learns Berserk at a very low level too. So, like, it's hard to say. Like, yeah, in the late game, you almost always want Rosa over Porum, but it's hard to say which one's better.
So we have a question in chat, Tramp Royale, saying, so what makes FE special, randomized such that the entire world is open? So yeah, pretty much free enterprise is kind of a double entendre. It literally means you get the enterprise to start, and it's literally free enterprise to where you can go almost anywhere. So randomized objectives, randomized characters, randomized just key items. And the key items in this instance are going to be the things that help you get certain progressions, such as the Earth Crystal, which will open up Tower of Zot, the Twin Harp, which will open up Cave Magnus, things of that nature. And it just allows for a more open world experience that you otherwise would not get out of a Final Fantasy game. So shout out to Dark Shadows bringing over the party of 3. Thank you, sir, for the raid.
Speaking of key items, we did just get another key item found on Poydrak from the Full Defense. Got the Rat Tail.
Yeah, and the rat tail is going to be closed off until we find the hook. So the hook is required to be able to check the rat tail, and is also one of the possible requirements to be able to get underground. Either the magma key or the hook is going to be required at some point in this seed in order to be able to forge that crystal.
Yeah, question about how long does a seed take? It's really hard to tell. Not only because the flags vary widely, but the seeds themselves are going to be very different. Like 2 seeds on the same flag set can change like almost an hour's worth of difference depending on where the key items have been found. So it's you just gotta like stick it out, and you'll figure it out when going through it. Right now, this is a pretty generous seed so far with the characters that we're given, but we still need everything. We don't have a way underground. We don't have a way to Zeramus. We don't have the 2 required items, which are the Adamant and the Legend Sword. So we still need everything in order to complete the game at this point. It looks like Mega Kid Icarus has finally taken it to Mother Grain, and so this is going to be a relief. It's going to be making the escape right now.
Yeah, that'll bring up LV Creed on the Mega Man X side. So, yeah, and if anybody's interested in the Mega Man X setup as far as how to do that, I can get you the information at some point, and get you into the Discord that's been made, as well as help you get that program and things like that. So we can discuss that at some later point. So, all right. So help me out here, chat. Give me some kind of warning. Give me some kind of indication. I'm assuming that Velociraptor only has the thing that they started with, which is the
Sand Ruby.
Sand Ruby. Thank you. Brain is not functioning fully today, but
don't worry, we're all stressed out with this. I'm trying to get through everything.
Yeah, it's no big deal. So, I do like the use of flame there on the Dark Imps. Very quick, easy kill. Dark Imps is actually a very cheesable fight, especially in that spot. And that is a Kaipo infight. Okay, I was like, is that like French vanilla? But no, it's just a Kaipo infight.
Yeah, no, not quite. But again, making use of flame, trying to get these these soldiers down quickly so the officer can run away, and you just don't have to worry about this fight anymore here. So, very, very smart to use the AOE attacks.
So, I'm sorry about that terrible run.
Nah, don't stress it, man. Don't stress it. Don't stress it at all.
Like it.
Yeah, man, it happens.
And I don't know. What? Yeah.
Yeah, Mega, don't stress it. I'm here for Mega Man X for LV Creed. If I'm fine. Don't worry about it. If you need to take a break, go rest, man. Go rest.
Unknown and I have got this.
I just want to know what happened as far as routing goes. Like, I have a feeling that the other 2 runners went and did wreck ship much earlier, and that's what cost me so much time. God. Yeah. Yeah. I know that part of that was the shaft tool. And I just and I know next year Nika's not gonna vet that seed at all. Because every single practice seed was much more reasonable and much less crap like that one.
Nika was surprised you didn't cuss them out.
Oh, I did. Oh. I'm just.
Fair enough.
I just can guard my tongue as far as certain. I can just guard my tongue when it comes to typing stuff out on the keyboard. But believe me, real life, I cuss her out. Freudian slip there.
Well, I will say this 100% for frustrations alone. Give a follow to this wonderful person who put their entire sanity on the line going through that seed. So, it's it's tough, but Mega Kid Icarus definitely deserves your love. Like 100%. I've been there, man. I've been there.
Yeah.
Look, I was just speaking about it before. There was another event that I was a part of that I was running MMX, and I was like excited because I got to actually premiere this. Nobody else has ever ran this before in any kind of event, and I'm like, yay! I get to premiere this. I got locked out of somewhere because I couldn't figure out how to get past it. I was like, I've never ran into this, and I played thousands of seeds, and I'm like,
my count's at the hundreds. And
yeah, and it happens. It happens. Sometimes you can't win, and don't worry about it. Oh, LV Cree is going to be okay here. That is something that can happen, by the way. I want to speak on that. If you're not careful in this spot, and that little mini boss has a low health count, if your jump it doesn't get you up high enough, you can get locked in that bottom area, and you have to restart from the beginning. So that's pretty tough, and unfortunately this seed actually is nice on that respect. So,
yep. Good luck, everyone.
Hopefully, hey Mega, have a good day, man, and get some rest.
Yeah, I gotta go eat some food. I got meatballs in the crock pot.
Get them meatballs. Get them.
And
meatballs.
Also, is Nico listening right now? You might want to mute the stream. Your time will come with like Link to the Past, I hope.
Oh.
Revenge, hopefully.
Oh man, that reminds me of whatchamacallit? God, Iron Maiden, your time will come, Wicker Man. If anybody gets that reference, by the way, I love you. Okay, you deserve all the hugs in the world, but 6 feet away. All right, so
anyway, yeah. Good luck, everyone.
Mega, enjoy your food. Okay?
The seed was just why.
Thank you, Bull. I love you. I knew I loved you for a reason, Bull. So we got honestly, this is a horrible fight to have here. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, it's useful that the runners have a really strong party at this point, because if we had weaker characters, then that would be a very difficult fight here. Luckily, they've got the items and the skills to get through the back attack D-Lunars without too much problem.
Yeah, the fact that this is I say relatively new feature to Final Fantasy IV, but it's been around for I think almost 2 iterations now, where they have that the start pack where you get useful items in the beginning, not just a key item or a item spot. So you'll get things like life potions, cure 2s, and stuff like that to start off.
Yeah, it's the starter kit that came around in version 4, and you can kind of tailor it to if you want it to be a really basic one or a real hefty one where you get a whole lot of things. You can't specify exactly what items, but you get a bunch of like really useful items at the beginning of the game, should you choose to have that flag on.
Yeah, so Hook and Ordeals, that's going to be underground access at this point. So we have access. It may not be our only access. There could be a magma key somewhere out there.
Yeah, with the Earth Crystal and Barren Inn still looming. Oh, actually, I think we saw Barren Inn, so I don't think it's there. But Earth Crystal is still looming. There still is a chance that you can get the magma key. I don't know exactly like how important the Earth Crystal is going to be for our runners, since they've got a really good party already. Like, they're not starved for characters, and that's really the biggest incentive to go up to the Tower of Zot. We might see some of our runners decide to go straight to the Hook route and try to go underground through the Eblin Cave instead. But it'll be interesting to see what our runners decide to do at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's a lot of interesting choices that you have to make here. Because let's face it, Earth Crystal is a cool spot, but we're not exactly hurting for characters. We don't really need any of the characters that would be at Earth Crystal. You know, a Fu would be nice. Rosa would be nice. Somebody who's
Cecil
more solid
would be nice.
Yeah, like somebody who's more solid at healing would be nice for sure. At this point, I don't think keeping Tell is worth it. But so Poydrak is going for this check to see who is at the Octomam spot. That is an extremely fast spot. That if you're looking for an objective that requires you to beat a boss there, it can actually be kind of crappy early on, and you have to come back there later. But they're looking for Demist. They're actually looking for the Mist Dragon, which is a item, which would be at Rydia's mom. So, or a possible item, I should say, not an actual item. It's just a location that a key item can be at. So yeah, Earth Crystal does unlock the Troya treasury, so there is a lot of stuff that is going to be behind that because it's behind a key item. We are going to be Go ahead.
The thing is, if our flags were T Pro, then that could be an extremely lucrative check of the Troya treasury. We're on T Standard here, S Pro, and so the items that you get in that treasury aren't going to be the top tier. And I think that's why we didn't see Poydrak go right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is a bunch of treasures, and if you're looking for money, you want to pad your wallet before heading underground. Getting all those treasure chests with items that you can sell for that wouldn't be a bad idea, and I wouldn't be surprised if anybody did that before going there. But it looks like Poydrak is heading right down to Evelyn Cave right now.
I don't hate this move. I really don't. Or at least setting up for it. Okay. Oh, they are going to go to Earth Crystal. All right. Shoutouts. Cool.
Or at least the treasury. We'll see if they decide to go through there.
They're 100% going through Earth Crystal because they saved. I doubt they're going to save and not, or maybe it's just habit to save because I have the same habit. I save sometimes unnecessarily. So
yeah, Dodger asking what gets randomized. Beowulf just put it in the chat. Weapon damage, movement speed, jump height, and projectile speed in Mega Man X. So and some platforms in the boss rooms are randomized as well.
Yeah,
and
the
health
base
bosses. Look at it, like that elephant only has like one little tick of health there. So
yeah, the base room, Maverick rooms, not the Sigma rooms. No Sigma room will be randomized,
right.
Just the way that's coded. So boss HP, X's HP, speed of weapons, speed of X himself, and that is every version of speed: left, right, dash, otherwise, things like that. So, and in this case, it's total.
You could definitely move faster to the left than to the right. That's
yeah, that is possible. There is sometimes that it's going to be faster for you to jump to the left and go right in order to move faster going right, because your jump speed will send you further and faster going left to right than it would going just straight right. It is the goofiest thing in the world, and it probably makes zero sense what I'm saying out loud, but once you play it and actually experience it, you'll be like, oh shit, yeah. So
Velociraptor finds a very
yeah.
Velociraptor finding a pretty important piece of treasure in Fabul in the curse ring. That's really important because it actually gives you a negative to your stats, but there's a lot of times where it's very advantageous to have a very low agility, or at least on one of your characters. The way agility works in Final Fantasy IV, all of your character's agility is basically relative to whoever's in the middle position. And so if you've got the curse ring on that person, they're really low. All your other characters will be relatively very fast. Of course, the bosses are also relative to that too. So you've got to be careful when to use it and when not to, but it's a very useful tool to have in your arsenal.
100%. And that is also depending on the setting that you have. There is a setting that is vanilla anchoring, which means Cecil, if he's in your party at all, he is the anchor. It does not matter if he's in the middle or not, but most people like to run the new AA, which is agility agnostic or whatever the actual name of it is. Either way, it's the same difference that way. But that means that whoever's in the middle slot, that literal middle slot, will be your anchor. So
yeah, on both Velociraptor and Poydrak, that's currently Sid,
which is a very good anchor. Sid is one of the best anchors, actually, in my IMO. So
if you're going to actually level up your anchor, then yes, Sid is probably the best. A lot of runners will prefer to have like a base level, almost anybody as their anchor, and just not worry about using them in the fights.
Yeah, a lot of people like to use Tella too, because Tella can, I think at some point Tella actually gets reverse agility when it comes to it. Like if he levels up enough, he'll actually lose agility over time or something like that. Like
he actually gains agility. He loses strength and I think vitality.
Okay, yeah, I remember that Tella just I don't remember all the numbers for it. That's definitely for people like Invenerable and others in the community that just like pick apart this game.
Well, I
shout
think
out to them.
I would definitely say that our runners today will know a lot of that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised. These are very good runners that we have for free enterprise today.
Yeah, they're definitely not slouches in this game. Like 100% Poidrak, Velociraptor, and Kedril are all just constantly in the top 10 of massive amounts of runnings. They do the Lunar Racing Club. That is a really ridiculous 2 characters to get over here, man. What is that? Foo and freaking Cecil? That is nuts.
Yeah, we are blessed with strong characters tonight.
Yeah, switch out the old mans and bring in They both old. They both old. They both. Hey, they are useful. I did not say that they were not useful. I said that they old. There's a difference. So, but yeah, Foo. So Foo has a unique thing, right? You'll see that he has 1,500 health right now. Well, after they kill this boss, he will end up with 1,600 health. For every boss that you kill, you will actually get another 100 health and another set of 3 spells. It can be either the white or black magic. As you can see right now, he's Poidrak is going through and kind of organizing the spells. Doesn't quite have Cure 4 yet. I didn't see the black spells. I didn't see if Nuke was or Quake was there. Sometimes you can get stuck until very late without a decent spell to go through, just depending on what you're looking for. Like usually finding Quake or Nuke early or Virus early is going to be the main spells you want to find just to be able to blow through some bosses and stuff. So.
Yeah, and Berserk, Life, and Cure 4 are going to be probably the most important white magic. Blink is also one that's really useful as well.
Oh yeah, Blink can get you through some tough spots when it comes to possible moon dives and things like that. So, which I don't know if we've discussed that or not. We are going to need to find the pass or the Darkness Crystal in order to be able to get to Zemus Zeromus. So that is going to be our access to that spot. If we do not find the Darkness Crystal, we're going to be hoping for the pass. The pass is going to be the faster of the way. Over in Troya, there is the pass shop that has a dude that's looking for the pass. He's actually there in vanilla. He sends you to a little, obvious. I don't know what you would call it. It's a
nightclub sort of thing.
Yeah, speakeasy nightclub, right? So, where you get back there and it's just like a fun little club thing that's got a different. I think that's where the dancer is in Troya or something. I don't know.
There's a lot of dancers in that room, but yes.
Yeah. So, but now it's been modified on the randomizer to be the fast way to get to Zeromus. So, which is a very cool thing that's been there since like the beginning. So, exit is now on Foo. That's useful.
And Velociraptor did loot that big treasury. Got some decent things. A couple rune axes are going to be pretty useful overall, especially like that's one of the better weapons for Sid.
Yeah, the major downfall, especially if Sid's going to be your anchor, the major downfall for the rune axe is that it has a lower hit chance. So if he's going to be your anchor, he'll be in the middle. The middle slot has a higher hit percentage. It actually gives you more accuracy being in that middle slot. So you kind of counteract the offset that you get with a rune axe. So, this is an interesting little check here. Going to see what you can find. Bandana is a very good find in that armor shop. That's
this is a gated shop because of it requires a key item for you to get here. So on the S Pro, this is one of those weapon armor shops that you're going to want to take a look at if you're in the market for weapons. And that Ogre Axe is going to be a useful weapon. That's the highest accuracy of all the axes. And oftentimes, if you're not hitting a weakness, the Ogre Axe, even though it has less power, is going to end up doing more damage than the Rune Axe. So that's one to keep in mind.
Yeah, and did you speak on the fact that it also allows you to back Roglitch?
The Ogre Axe can't. That's the Dwarf Axe.
Correct. Yes. See, this is me being.
No, you should just take it as you were quizzing me.
Yeah, I was just testing Rex Rawls' knowledge. There you go. Look at that. That's the way to save face and not sound stupid. So, yeah.
No worries. I commentate this almost every week. So.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've actually commentated this, so like I'm trying to keep up with also the tracking, and I keep missing it, and I'm like, crap, where are they at?
No, it's all good. You're doing great. Okay, I'll give you that.
All right. Yeah. So back row glitching. Just to touch on that real quick. The dwarf axe is the one that does that. Anything that allows you to throw or actually, I guess, projectile like a bow and arrow will give you what's called back row glitching. So you can sit in the back row glitch, get the benefits of the defense of that, as well as being able to hit for full attack. So a character like Cecil who can equip a bow and arrow, you equip that and then unequip it, put them in the back row, boom, back row glitched. It's not always a premier thing to do on a character depending on who you're doing it on. Only because if you have certain mages, you're going to want them to be in the back row instead, because you're going to want your mail carriers and mail wearers to actually be in front to take the damage. But yeah, so
it's especially useful for Cecil though, because of his cover ability. If you've got the other characters in low HP and he's in the back row, he can cover somebody even if they're in the front row, and he still takes back row damage. So if you've got Cecil glitched with the back row flag, then you can put him in the back row with good armor, and he, against bosses that do primarily physical attacks, he can make it a lot easier by making use of that. Well, it's a glitch, but it's not one of the glitches that we have taken out of Free Enterprise. So that's one that you can still exploit as much as you like.
Yeah, and I 100% doubt that's ever taken out, just because it's so useful. And there is a setting, there's a group of settings called Kata or Kata Light, which is basically a set of the hardest settings you can possibly find to make it as big of a challenge as possible and go through the game and beat it. So there's some quality of life things that are kept, understandably so, just because why be tedious when it's not difficulty? Tedious isn't difficulty. Tedious is literally just tedious. So, they want to keep certain things in for the manipulations and for the ability to be able to just use massive amounts of knowledge to be able to beat a hard group of settings. So,
well, that is like one of the kind of principal philosophies behind Free Enterprise, is that knowledge of the vanilla game is supposed to be useful in this randomizer. So that's why we don't have like character abilities or equipments or monster weaknesses randomized or anything like that. Everything that we've gotten here, or not everything, but a good portion of the game is still based on the information that you get in the vanilla game. So that's just one of the things that kind of guides the programming of Free Enterprise.
So this is going to be fun. Velociraptor deciding to skip out on Dark Knight Cecil. So they have not gotten their access to the underground yet, whereas Poydrak has. So Poydrak was able to take Paladin Cecil and knew that they were not going to pass that up, right? So yeah, not knowing that you have to go up ordeals to get any kind of underground access at this point, because we still don't even know what this is going to be here at Baron. There is a possibility that something's going to be at the Odin spot, which, depending on what it is, it's doable. It's very doable. That's a white
with
spear,
this party. With this party with Fusia, it is definitely possible that it's doable at this point. I think Velociraptor was trying to avoid Mount Ordeals because it is a long dungeon to go through, because you can't exit out of it. There's 3 bosses. There's a cutscene. Like, if you can avoid that, then you're going to be saving quite a bit of time. It's looking more and more like this is what we call a hook seed, where you're forced to go down through that, and that hook is on Mount Ordeals. So that's probably why Velociraptor decided not to take Cecil at that time. It was a gamble, but it's not going to end up paying off, unfortunately, for him here.
So we are going to get an Odin dive, and depending on what this is here, this could be one of the hardest fights. Even later on, ooh, don't be it. Okay, it's Ogo. It's tough. Ogo's tough, but I was thinking it was going to be something like our good old friend, that's a nope rope.
Wyvern.
Yeah, I was waiting for Wyvern, man. Wyvern is one of the crappiest bosses to get there, because even that is technically a late game spot. That is technically supposed to be an equal strength spot to like a moon dive. So
now, if it was Wyvern, that's one of those bosses where if you use that cursed ring and you set your battle speed down a little bit, you might be able to get a Star Veil off before the opening Mega Duke happens. Ogopogo, on the other hand, is just going to destroy you at that spot. I think Poydrak deciding discretion is the better part of valor there makes a lot of sense at these low levels. Even with Fusia, because you don't really want to use magic against Ogopogo is the thing.
Yeah, because that ice, it's an ice 2 counter if I'm not mistaken, right?
It depends on what it is. It's Blaze is the most common counter on that.
Right. His
palette switch partner Leviathan uses Ice 2 as one of their primary attacks, so that might be where you got that flipped up there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, and I mean, Ogopogo is definitely not an easy boss there. Honestly,
any really like late game boss spots, the Ogopogo is one of the scarier ones. I'm thinking at this point, Poydrak's going to hope to not see it. What he does see is Porum as the character here, and the Magus Sisters is going to be the boss in the Rubicante spot.
Shout outs to Creed, though, by the way. Creed is making short work of Mega Man X right now, just absolutely just tearing through this. And like I said, the 3 Mega Man X runners that we had were literally like top 3 runners in a previous tournament that was thrown. Deciding not to go with Porum, cannot blame them. You already got Fusoya, and Fu usually will get you through to the end. So,
yeah, I think if we hadn't had Sid, then there'd be an argument for taking Porum and just knocking her out and leaving her on the ground as an anchor. However, I just don't think that's very necessary at this point. You got Sid, and if Poydrak found that same curse ring that Velociraptor did, then there shouldn't be any issues with anchoring throughout any of the boss fights that are going to end up needing it.
Well, Poydrak doesn't have Sid anymore. They have Cecil and...
Yes.
So the thing is, they can still curse ring Fu and bring him down to 5 agility. So they can still use Fu.
There's one thing that I think that I think we missed, and I think Poydrak might have missed too. We do not have K summon on, so the Odin spot couldn't have yielded a free or couldn't have yielded key item anyways. We just have K main moon for today's race, so maybe Poydrak was still checking just in case it was demissed, because that's still something there. But
you want to know what's funny? I helped make these settings. I completely forgot that I didn't want the K summon on, or that we agreed that was going to be turned off just for whatever purpose that moon dive would be possible. But yeah, K summon is off. That's funny. Oh man. Yes. So same with K Bahamut. So K Bahamut, the Vanilla Leviathan, Vanilla Ashura, so the Fey March bosses, as well as the
Sylph Cave Pan.
Thank you. I would like
and Odin.
Yeah. Brain froze. I'm like, there's one more that I'm just not saying. Sylph, the Pan. So yeah, all those count as summons. Anywhere where you would get an alternative summon in the vanilla game is a K summon. So, and K in this instance stands for key item spot. So, I didn't even realize that that's a vanilla Mylon.
Yeah, we did have people yelling for death as one of our restreamers in the community who tends to roll a lot of vanilla things. So
that's funny.
But Poydrak made short work of the Antlion. Now up against the Mega Sisters here. Since we do have Quake on Fusia, I don't think it's going to be too difficult. You might even do a Swag Meteor here. We'll see but Quake coming out, so yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that the Mega Sisters usually are pretty easy to get through. The worst part of them is if you don't get Cindy down first, and you take a while to get Cindy down, Cindy will res her sisters. So you can get kind of stuck in a weird loop here if you're not quick about it. But I don't think there's going to be any trouble with that.
At this point, I don't think it's going to be very difficult either. A couple of things to note about the Mega Sisters. They are mage-type enemies, and I believe there's a Mute Dagger on Edge. So he's doing 4 times damage. The rune axes that Velociraptor found will be 4 times damage against them. Another way of doing it, if in a high HP spot like this one, if you get rid of Mindy first instead of Cindy, then the nasty Delta attack won't go off, and so you can keep yourself alive a little bit longer. The res might happen, but Mindy generally has the least amount of hit points, so just take her down again while you're getting everything ready to do it. With this party, it's not really all that big a deal. You just use Quake and your 4 times damage weapons, and the Mega Sisters went down really easy for Poydrak.
Yeah, 100% on that. That is a very viable strat. That's something that the most damage from almost any spot is going to be from the reflected spells. There are a few spots where the physical is going to be a lot more dangerous than the reflected spells, so you're going to be hard pressed to just try to get rid of Cindy anyway, because Cindy will hit like a truck if you're not careful. So.
Yeah, in fact, the spot where Antlion was is one of those spots where the physical damage is way scarier than the magic. But in the Rubicante spot, it's the magic that's more scary.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to think that the physical and the King and Queen Evelyn spot is so high when they're magic users in the vanilla game. But that's the thing; they weren't designed to kill you. They were designed to be the fight that pissed off Edge. So that's the whole design of that. So.
Big shout outs to Poydrak for checking the employment dwarf. We have a baker today.
Oh, that's a nice little flavor text there for you.
My favorite NPC in the game. So.
What you mean? There is a summon that is actually bomb. It wasn't in the vanilla game, but there is a spell that you can get at the Mount Hobbs that can be bomb, but it explodes Rydia too. So you basically sacrifice Rydia to do damage.
It is actually in the vanilla game, but it's a very rare drop.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a very rare drop. Where is it from? Where does it actually drop at?
I think any of the bomb type enemies could drop it. It's in the same category as there's Mage and Imp and Cockatrice are in there as well. So yeah. You could play that for years and years and never get one of those drops. So,
yeah, I think that's still the case. All right, LV Creed. Oh no, getting hit at the last second, missing the skip to get past the.
Yeah, and we know how slow this boss is.
Oh, he got the lucky bounce. So there is I don't know the percentage chance, but getting the lucky bounce there, he can either do one of two things: hit the wall and just land, or hit the wall and do his slow crawl. So in this instance, he got the very unusual bounce. Oh, he was slow as crap, Bull. That's why Dark Shadows got stuck for so long on that. He was absolutely... Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, he ended up having to die to him about, I think, 6 times at least. So it was pretty rough.
We got some more vanilla action up at the top of the Tower of Babel as Poydrak finds Dr. Luge and his robot buddy Belknap.
Oh, man. So, funny story, as a kid, I never realized, because of the way the way Final Fantasy II...
Yes, Final Fantasy II, of course.
Yeah, did it, because obviously I did not have the Super Famicom. So, the way Final Fantasy II did it, Babel was Bab-IL.
Bab-IL.
For the freaking longest time, I would always say the Tower of Bab-IL. So until I started to play the rando, like it just always registered as Bab-IL to me, and I'm like, it's freaking mythology, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm an idiot, and like, yeah, like. The sudden realization of how stupid I was as a kid. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, the biblical reference just goes over there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, kids are always brilliant, aren't they? Brilliant. All right, we do have a Baron key right there. We also have a Baron key down here. I already clicked that. Making sure I am actually looking at their personal streams too to make sure I have them all marked.
I think that's probably going to be the best way to go.
Yeah, it's tough to keep track of all this, especially with a second game on stream, trying to keep up with it.
I appreciate all the work you're doing, Unknown.
I've done it. Yo, Free Enterprise! Coming in with the raid party at 59. Welcome, everybody. We were just talking about how much we really love y'all. So for those of you curious, since Free Enterprise decided to give us a fantastic 59-person raid, we've got the relay going on for everybody coming in. This is actually 5 games that is being passed off after each person finishes. You can see Mega Man X up at the top right with LV Creed running that, as well as the game that y'all are also familiar with on the left from Poydrek and Velociraptor, who are 2 folks that I know y'all are familiar with. So the next game on the list is going to be Link to the Past. That is going to be coming up after the FF4 race, which I'm going to actually drop out once I know I have to actually replace Velociraptor. And then we're going to be having Kedril taking over for LV Creed here soon, because LV Creed just got out of the second to last boss going into the final Sigma battle. So oh yeah, I'm sure Kedril is chomping at the tooth, wanting to get in there and starting to want to get at this. Is Poydrek grinding right now?
I didn't see the fight. This is the alt gauntlet in the power rooms, though.
Yeah, that threw me off for a second because I looked back and I saw 2 flame guards, and I'm like, why is he fighting flame guards? And then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, this is absolutely not the room that you want to see the alt gauntlet in.
I mean, let's be fair. Do you really want to see Gauntlet anywhere?
As like the person who suggested the alt gauntlets originally, I love to see it anywhere.
I do agree. The alt gauntlet was one of the coolest additions that was added by a.
Sure. So as you see, Poydrek's fighting a bunch of kind of regular random encounter sort of style enemies here. And normally we've got random encounters turned off. You can toggle them on if you want, but we're trying to go fast, so why would you do that? One of the bosses in the game in the pool originally was the defensive Fabul, where you fight a bunch of fights in a row. We call it the Fabul Gauntlet. It was always the same group of enemies, just scaled to wherever you were, like the other bosses are. But those fights were getting a bit boring, and nobody liked them anyways because they took a lot of time and everything like that. So we kind of switched it up here with the alt gauntlet, and wherever you are, you've got a group of 5 random encounter enemies from the area that you're in. So these 5 fights that Poydrek fought are fights that you would normally get within the Tower of Babel. And so it just kind of changes it up, make you have to think on the fly. You don't know exactly what you're going to get unless you've studied all those spots. And so it's just a little bit of an extra challenge in there for that spot. And it looks like LV Creed has saved the world.
Once again, saving the world. And now we got Kedril up on the screen. They're staring down their Sid start. So the Alt Gauntlet was a fantastic addition. Like, because the thing that's actually really cool about it is the fact that you have different experience abilities. It actually makes fighting the Gauntlet so much better. Because if you get like a Moon Gauntlet, that's actually really cool because you can get some massive experience from that. So
yeah, and it can be a big challenge too, especially if you're not familiar with the behaviors of the vanilla random encounter enemies.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Yeah, and we discussed a little bit of the K flags before. For those of you who are not familiar, K is the key item flag. Main is almost always turned on. I've never seen really anything without it on. That's the just the simplest of randomizations. I could say all the locations, but kind of not necessary.
They're the vanilla key item locations. Yeah.
Yeah, like so places like Antlion Cave, stuff like that. So So you've also got your addition of the moon, which is something we have turned on here, which means the 5 moon locations. That is the Ogopogo, that is Bahamut, excuse me. The other giant dragon thing that spits fire at you, Wyvern. You've also got the D-Lunars, you've got Plague, and then you have also got, and I'm blanking on the last dude's name. He's the first boss.
Pale Dim.
Pale Dim, thank you. I was like, the first boss in the stupid moon. And Pale Dim. So those 5 spots are moon key item flag, and then you also have the trapped chest flag. That one can add quite a few spots, because there's 9 on the moon, there's 7 in Sylph Cave, there is 1 in the Feymarch, there are 4 in the Tower of Babael. So there's quite a few trap chest locations that you would need to know of, and there is the randomization flag, which you would also need to know, like, where all the locations are. So it's a very big possibility that could just be hiding somewhere. So, shout outs to LV Creed, by the way, for absolutely nailing that seed, dude. You killed that Mega Man X run. Like, you rocked it, man. I'm telling you, we've when I didn't know what to say when it came to these, and the fact that we vetted the seeds and we have like some top tier runners in all the games, individual games. Yeah, it wasn't exactly just a shabby group of runners. It's like, hey, I know how to play this game. It's like people who have played these games for a long time. So like some of these FF4 runners, actually, I think all 3 of these FF4 runners have been around since, I want to say, like version like 1, like well before. So yeah, I know for a fact that Hoydrak and I want to say even Kedril have been around longer than even me, and I've been around for a damn long time in FF4. So
yeah, and Velociraptor's been around, I think, at least as long as I have, and I've been there for quite a while. So
yeah, so we've definitely got quite a few, like, when it comes to the game knowledge, like it's been a while since I've touched the game and like actually played in the 4.01 deal here, but like if I'm playing the game, it's easier for me to play it than actually describe some of the stuff. So
it looks like through some of the underground places, Poydrak has found the Legend Sword and the Adamant. So we have the crystal has been forged. We're getting that crystal right now for Poydrak, but we still don't have a way to, unless we missed another item. I don't know if we've got a way to the moon yet.
I am looking at it right now. No, the answer is no. We do not have a pass. We do not have a darkness crystal.
So this could be Dwarf Castle, or I don't think we've seen the vanilla rat tail chest yet either. So since
I'm pretty sure we haven't. Yeah. So
yeah, because Poydrak went right to the Sylph Cave because he had the pan. So wanted to do the Sheila one, and that's where the Legend Sword was. Also had done the tower, so because with the tower key, got the adamant through there. So that's where we're at right now. Looking for either the pass or the darkness crystal. And then we'll be ready to go to Zeramis. We'll see what grind options Poydrak has. I'm not sure if we've found sirens in shops at this point yet.
Yeah,
they're not guaranteed to be in there. They used to be pretty much guaranteed to be available in a shop in a seed, but with this current version, we do no longer. And the S Pro flag. They're not guaranteed to be there, but if they would be, there'd be in a gated shop.
Yeah, and there's a couple of different options available for grinding. If the darkness crystal is what we have, it might be a viable option to just run up the giant real quick and do the vanilla grind where you just do D machines. So especially if you don't have sirens at your disposal, or you can even go to the moon itself and go to the area just before D-Lunars and just walk back and forth and look for the solo gold dragon, or I think you can get a gold and a silver dragon and still get a life glitch off. So
There's that. There's warlocks that you can fight. Warlocks and carries. Give
That too.
decent ones that are pretty easy to deal with. This place where Poydrek is right now, the Seal Cave, all of these doors, if you turn random encounters on, become a trapdoor. They're worth a pretty decent amount of experience too, but they're a bit more dicey in order to get through them. So it looks like he's going through to check to see what the key item is. And there's the swag medio on the Mega Sisters for Velociraptor screen, so that's pretty boss.
Oh, and they I think they got through the Maga Sisters fight a little bit faster than Poydrek did. So,
well, they had the rune axes, so that was an advantage that they had as well.
Right? Yeah, I forgot that Poydrek didn't have the rune axes going through there. That is still something that's and Poydrek's going to go straight through no matter what this is. But pretty much going to probably check for the boss and then no
item.
Yeah, just pretty much nope out. Not even worried about having to save for safety or anything like that. Because if it's not a boss that they need as far as Demas goes, they're done. They don't even care. So check what this is. Is it? Yeah, that's definitely not checking the boss. Oh no! Is Demas there? Oh God, no! I hope. Oh man, I hope that's not Demas. I really hope that's not the case. That would be such an awful way to get behind. Oh
yeah, that would be pretty rude.
That's painful, man. That's painful to see, because sometimes that is the easiest spot to forget you need to check the stupid boss. Like, that is the easiest spot. Oh man. So we are. Let me see here. Oh, Poydrek did fall into the Twin Heart, so we're going to be checking music. So.
MTI, Demas required the seed. We don't know at this point. We know that we still need either the Darkness Crystal or the Pass, but we haven't seen Demas yet, and that might be the way that we need to get to. If Demas has the Darkness Crystal and the Pass is on the moon, then that Demas might be required. We're gonna get some tunage here, so that's a nice one to see.
Yeah, you'll have to look. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, for people who are unfamiliar with Free Enterprise, one of the earliest Easter eggs put into this is instead of Edward playing his regular harp song, we've got a random song that he picks every single time, and so we're gonna be able to take a listen to what he's got in store for us on this seed pretty soon here. It's the same for the seed.
Yeah.
If we're on Poydrek now, then we're good. Yeah. We'll let you know if anybody else decides to go there, okay? All right, so now getting through this as quickly as possible. Looks like only Fu isn't stopped, but everybody's perished, so that's good. This is a scripted fight. You're supposed to have everybody die there, so the faster that happens, the better. And now it's time, everybody, for DJ Spoony B's Rockin' Tunes. So we're going to be a little quiet here for everybody to enjoy this.
Shoutouts to Poydrek for making sure y'all get to see it. And there's Demas!
There we are. That's that big brain play of just fading the bosses earlier. Poydrek rewarded by finding Demas here, so it's going to get 2 key item checks here in the Cave of Magnus.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild to find D-Mist on a just a whim. That could have really hurt if D-Mist was over there in Luca Cave.
So
But-
now I know why Poydrak always beats me in races.
Yeah, the Twin Heart song is always random. Shout outs to one of the most amazing people in the FF4 FE community who does a lot of the sprites for the Zeromus fight. Oh, yo, Adamant Armor. That's dope.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, as well as does a lot of the songs and things like that. Scala Kitty is a fantastic. Just I don't know. They do a lot of the artistic things involved. So shout outs to them for sure. Yeah, you don't need the adamant. Get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. Boardface himself did a lot of the real early harp remixes too. So
yeah, but Boardface is the primary developer of the Final Fantasy IV FE randomizer, and just I can't say this enough. The amount, the fact that Final Fantasy IV FE is so viable as a randomizer, it's impressive. It really has just taken a leaps and bounds compared to any other randomizer when it comes to that. Yo, hey, that's go mode for Poydrak right there.
That situation came up. It was the D-Mist having the darkness crystal. So now all Poydrak needs are the levels that he feels confident in defeating Zeromus.
I wonder if I don't know if we've found our sirens or not. I'm thinking that we probably have.
I don't think so, because it looks like Poydrak is heading back into the Tower of Babel, which makes me think he's going to look for a trap chest with alerts in it and steal sirens from them.
Interesting. That's a very interesting play. I would have. That's very interesting.
Yeah, this is something with the no longer having sirens be guaranteed in shops. This is another thing that's made Edge even more useful, is that he's got the ability to steal sirens from this particular fight. Now, we will see. He'll probably. I'm not sure exactly how many he'll need, and it might depend on whether he's planning on grinding on eggs or on gold dragons or warlocks. I suppose is another option. There's a lot of options that you can use those sirens with.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would almost think just bailing and going up to, I don't know, taking the cutscene and going to do the D-Machine grind like we discussed, or maybe even just going in and doing the walkthrough of the moon and just maybe doing D-Lunar. You know, D-Lunar spot's a heavy amount of experience, especially when you have 10 key items. So
I think he changed his mind on that stealing. So maybe he tried it a couple times, it didn't work out in his favor. So he's like, let's try something else. And it could be that D-Machine grind. He might just be going up to the moon to check the Hummingway shop, because if the sirens are available up there, then it says that we got to cure 1 from stealing. So that's interesting.
Isn't there a flag for that? That means the vanilla steel or something to that effect? Could that be?
I was just checking the flags right now because I've got them open in a different tab, and it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we have that. Maybe we do.
I don't remember even having that as a discussion when we discussed the flag settings we were going to do. Because originally I was supposed to be running FF4, so and I helped make the settings for it. So I don't remember that being a part of the discussion. So. Okay, so Poydrak's going to be doing a switch. Oh, D-Machine grind. Okay. Or maybe deciding not to? I wonder if he's just going to do...
Be doing Mac Giant.
That's an option too. Yeah, I think the US drop tables does apply to stealables. I think that's a part of it as well, because it's technically considered a quote unquote drop. So But I don't know. It might just be. Well, here's a question too. Is it all of the collars that do that? Is it all of the ones in the tower that actually let you steal sirens, or is it a particular one? Because there's 4 different ones. They're all different collars, or whatchamacallit. I don't know.
All of those trap chests in the Babel give that.
They do? Okay. I didn't know if they had the same steel table or not, considering. No. Removes them from steel drop. Okay. Oh, Eno Sirens. Yo, wow. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing we have Eno Sirens on. That's rude. I didn't even know that was on.
We have Eno J drops. So
Eno
that must be
J drops. Oh yeah, so the J drops. So J items are there, but not J drops. That's okay. There's so many different changes that have come out in the more recent releases of this that, like, honestly, I get lost on some of the things that are changeable on that. So, who just joined us? I heard somebody.
I think it's Siberian Bull.
Yo, Siberian. Hey, GG's again on your run, dude. I cannot hear you. You are
on my end. Anyway,
there you are. We can hear you now.
Yeah, just jumping in because we were about to transition to Link to the Past. So
absolutely, yeah. With Velociraptor, once I see Velociraptor get their
go mode.
Well, do I want to do go mode, or do I want to just do it whenever they get their their legends? Or you know what? I'll wait until they actually get their crystal. I'll wait until they get their crystal. Once they get their crystal, I'll drop out, and then I'll do and I'll start getting ready. So, because once they do that, I'll since we have that knowledge, we know at least about where they'll be at. Because I doubt it'll take 30 minutes to get all the way to Zeromus once they actually hit their. Well, it takes going back. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to Gloom. I'm gonna wait until they get the darkness crystal. Because honestly, F that. that's kind of a rough spot, man. I'm just gonna kind of like, nah, we good. We're gonna wait until we see the darkness crystal.
So Poitrak just turned on random encounters for the walk down the lunar subterranean towards Zeromus. So it looks like just going to grind on random encounters here. Finds a silver dragon or a King Ryu. Pretty good experience there. We're at one thing to note in Free Enterprise: once you've collected 10 key items, you do get double the experience. And so all these encounters that he's going to have down here are going to be worth double experience. He just needs to get to the point where he feels comfortable. Yeah, that's A-okay. Do what you have to do there. We know where they need to go and what items they need to collect in order to get to go mode. Everything else is kind of gravy for us. Like, we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I've been doing my best to keep up with it, but yeah, like pretty much we know he's about to get the Legend Sword right now. Kaboom. Yep, there you go. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, so he hasn't gotten the Adamant yet. And we know that Velociraptor needs to head to music sooner or later. So, where was the Adamant again?
The Adamant was behind the tower key with that alt gauntlet. Yeah, exactly.
Forgive me while I'm over here crying. That's horrible. Oh my god, that's funny though. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, like, randomizer is a fickle beast. It just happens to happen that way all the dang time, where you never expect where something's going to be. All right, killing off their anchor there, so they're going to have a pretty solid anchor, not even having to worry about the curse ring. Velociraptor going back and grabbing. Wait, what? They do what now? Why you do this? Why you get rid of Edge?
Because we found an Excalibur, and we definitely want Cecil in the party with an Excalibur.
Oh, 100%. But why did you get rid of Edge with 2 longswords? Why would you get rid of Edge instead of, like, I don't know, taking somebody else in place of Sid to anchor and, like, getting rid of Sid?
That you'd have to ask Velociraptor. Like, I like Edge, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I would definitely say Cecil is the best of the physical damage dealing characters if you've got access to Excalibur or Crystal Sword. So he's definitely going to be better than any of them as far as outright damage dealing. Looks like he is heading up to Cave Magnus, so we're going to get some music here, and that's going to be really good. It's up on Velociraptors, upper left. So we're going to get some more music there. He's going to find that D-Mist, and that D-Mist is going to lead him to the Darkness Crystal, which is required, of course. Now, the question is, hopefully, he decides to go back down and complete the tower before going to the moon. This is something that can really... This is where, in a seed like this, runners could definitely go down the wrong rabbit hole, and defeating the bosses on the moon is definitely going to be a trap in this seed because the moon is not required.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, there, Snow Bear. And so,
yeah, we're already getting an early move over onto Earth Crystal from Kedril, who is playing catch up right now, doing the just due to some unfortunate circumstances, which happens. Like, let's face it, Rando going to Rando, man.
Yeah, that was a brutal Super Metroid seed. So
it really is, and I mean, even with a vet seed, even though you're vetting a seed and things like that, sometimes it might just step in the wrong direction for anybody at any time. So, once again, big shout outs to our buddy Mega. Give them the love and follow them. They deserve it. So,
even though this boss is not going to be required at all for Quadrack, he's going to check the boss that's in this vanilla D lunar spot. If this was a single boss here, with the double experience, you could get 200,000 experience for this one fight. Whenever it's split up among bosses like the arms here, that number is going to vary a bit, but that's going to be the reason why he decided to check this spot. Like I said, it's absolutely not required, but this is just a huge chunk of experience you can get for one fight.
Yeah, and honestly, you can even do a little bit of grinding here with this. It's not... I wouldn't say it's the most viable of strats.
Yeah, and Baigen punches really hard, so I don't think it's usually a wise strat either.
Yeah, this would be something that is like a very ballsy move to do, but farming on a boss that can like respawn certain enemies and things like that, or certain ads, is pretty clever. Now, I just noticed something on Velociraptor's end. They're going to find their Darkness Crystal probably before they find their Adamant.
Right, yeah. I mentioned that just a little bit ago. I think you might have been doing some tracking. And that's something that could rabbit hole Velociraptor. That would be unfortunate. We've got to hope for his sake that he decides to go back to Tower before he goes to the moon.
And I honestly don't see that happening.
I think it could go either way. I don't know enough about his routing style. There are people who, like me, who will avoid the moon at all cost. And other people who are just super keen to go to the moon as quickly as possible. So either way, I could see it go either way.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I'm actually the other way around if I feel comfortable, because they also just got an Adamant. Me getting the Adamant armor, I'd be like, dude, moon, let's do it. This is a K moon flag, let's do it. And I go to the moon, and honestly, I get debated all the time by that. So,
and the thing about that is, you're gonna, by doing all those lunar bosses, that's a lot of experience that you're going to get for those fights. So you figure, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be basically leveling on the way, and I don't even need to worry as much about my grind in that sort of situation. And I think that might be... he's definitely heading to Mist, of course, because he wants to turn in, check that Rydia's mom.
Exactly. Yep, and there's that Darkness Crystal, man. That's... Oh, God. I've been there. It's one of those things where it's like, now you have the worst possible decision to make. It's like, no, of all things, I still need the adamant armor, or not the adamant armor, but the adamant item. Like, where do I go now? Do I go back underground? Do I go to the moon? Oh man.
Oh, and it looks like Poydrak is making the ascent down to the lunar core. So we do have a question that we've got to ask before the end of this seed, right?
Oh, yes, we do. There is a very common question that everybody from the Free Enterprise crew knows about. That is, whose butt are we going to kick today?
Yeah, we are very, very close to butt time. So, for those of you who might not be familiar with Free Enterprise,
Rex.
Yes.
Bro, phrasing.
Yeah.
Yes, and everybody, if you're a Free Enterprise sub, get them Z flags, Z question marks in the chat. Oh man.
Yeah, the sprite for the final form of Zeramus is randomized. The attack pattern is vanilla. Like Zeramus is still going to use his big bangs and everything like that, but we'll see what we get here right after Poydrak uses the crystal item.
And in the vanilla game, you actually have to use that item on Cecil. Like, nobody else can use it but Cecil.
Yes.
So.
But in Free Enterprise, any character can.
Exactly. And actually, sometimes that can be the make or break of your group. If you have a particular character use it ahead of somebody else, you can set it up to where they use the crystal, set up your Bacchus Wines and your Berserks and things like that, and have the right group go in. Actually, you can see Poydrak setting that up right now with skipping over a couple of characters and seeing what order that they have. So
can't actually cast Berserk before it. Well, you can cast it, but during the transformation, it basically wipes all those statuses. So you can queue up something, but the spell actually has to cast after the transformation takes place.
Yeah, and actually, to note too, oh, that's cute. I have no idea what that's from, but that is absolutely freaking adorable. I figured it was Dragon Warrior. I just didn't know like what freaking Dragon Warrior. I mean, like, let's face it, slimes are notorious for dragon. It's adorable, is what it is, Doctor. Don't judge. It's adorable. Yeah. Murder it. Kill it with fire.
Oh, it's Briggy Love. Oh, it's Briggy Love. Kill it! Kill it!
All right, so Velociraptor is actually going to.
I think the giant might be doing the D machine grind here.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring, doing the D machine grind, which is a good call, because if you're going to go through and do your, if you're going to be doing the moon, if you don't feel as comfortable going through the moon and trying to get levels that way, because they know what bosses they've seen. They've already seen quite a few of the free bosses, so you're probably going to see some pretty bad looking bosses up on the moon, and they're not going to be exactly the easiest ones to get through. So now Kedril did decide to go ahead and take the Dark Knight Cecil, probably just foreseeing that they're going to have to go up ordeals, and honestly I have not been marking their stuff. I've honestly been half getting ready on my side.
No, that's okay. We're cool. We know what we have to look for. We know that the tracking is going to go away once Poydrak finishes the Enterprise anyways.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm going to be hitting the live button here shortly. I've got the seed pulled up at least, so.
Well, I will say before you head off, it's been a pleasure calling this with you, Unknown. So, sure. And good luck when it's your turn to run Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it because let's face it. If the SM seed was any indication of how good we vetted these seeds, there's a possibility that we might be just crying in a puddle of our own tears and just going, "Why did they do this to us?" Yeah, listen. I heard the commonality is to just say #blame Game Boy F9, right?
Real quick,
I think there's a lot of blame to go around.
Real quick, I want to thank you, Unknown, because I pretty much just pinged you at the last minute. It's like, hey, do you mind jumping on the comms? And you did, so thank you very much.
It's all good. It's all good. I was planning on trying to help with this anyway. I mean, in all honesty, I signed up to do this, kind of just.
And honestly, I kind of pinged you about it out of the blue too. So you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it happens. I'm usually better when somebody asks me to do something last minute rather than, planning on doing it way ahead of time. The longer I have to think about something, the worse I feel. So,
you had a month and a half, and it still happens.
So it's like,
please, somebody take this from me.
And then I have to do MMX, and I'm like,
oh God.
And that's what took it from you that you had to do the best.
Yeah, and then if there's anything I feel more comfortable with, it's doing Link to the Past.
If anything, you were willing to be flexible, which is doubly thankful for.
Oh, I'll tell you 100%. The one thing I was not willing to do ever, never, ever is SM. That game can go away. I don't like it.
I can't even get out of Alcatraz on that one. So
I don't even look. I know more about that game than I even like to admit. But yo, we got cracked. Boom. GG's Poydrak with the first FF4 FE clear. Going to be bringing in, I believe it's Sonny Wrath. So. Not that I'm rooting against you, Sonny. Sonny is actually my 2v2 partner in FF4 FE. So we play 2v2 often and just do it casually and have a lot of fun with that. Good luck, Sonny. Have fun, man.
And he was also my partner in the Links to Past League, Rando League.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got our hooks.
Yeah, I actually I think yeah, I told you to get together for that, for the Rando League. Yeah, yep. I remember doing that.
That's fine. You had your partner run earlier for you, and now my partner's gonna run.
Yeah, right. Dark Shadows. Look at that, dude. Okay. Yeah, man. It's like not good.
Well, Poydrak has finished, so whenever, yep, he's finished. We've got our GGs. Poydrak did really good work on this seed. Really showed it who's boss. How long has Kedril got ETA? It depends. If routing the same way as Poydrak, not too long. But if he gets baited on the moon, as we're afraid that Velociraptor might be, it could be a while.
Yeah, it could solidly be a minute because right now they're doing the D-Machine grind over on the Giant, which the only reason they need to be here is the D-Machine grind. That's it. So they're going to be doing this until they're at a solid level, and then where they go from there is a shrug. They're probably going to head to the moon. If I had to guess, the moon is where they're headed. So because I doubt they would be farming. I don't know. It just depends on who you are, to be completely honest. It just depends on what runner you're talking to, because some of them are like, no, get the grind out of the way immediately. I'm kind of in favor of that. If you have the ability to grind, go ahead and get it out of the way, because everything is going to be easier from there. But at the same time, some people are like, well, if you wait until the end to grind, then you can get your progression, know how far away you are, and get it done. So
yeah, it's a balancing act, and it kind of depends on how comfortable you are at possibly fighting bosses at lower levels than you might be intended to.